or wherever you learned about this. At any rate, I am a purveyor of elixirs, tonics, mind expansion, mesmerizing experiences to address the maladies of the body and to free up the mind, allowing the mind to accept those wonders from space and heavens beyond come into your head. And my elixirs will make you faster, smarter, stronger. Unfortunately, I arrived here as a time traveler because some of my elixirs and tonics, the ingredients of which were sold to me by one Dr. Nutter, were, shall we say, bad. And some of my customers were traveling into the light, so to speak. And we can't have that. So I summoned up all my powers within and reached out and swore to find this Dr. Nutter to get my money back for these ingredients, which he cheated me out of. And as I was doing that, I was suddenly transformed into like a tornado, a swirl of light, a swirl of sound. And suddenly I was traveling in this space-time continuum, and if you will, and I wasn't sure where I was or what I was doing and how I got there, but that I was finally looking for this Dr. Nutter because I had to find him. I had to find him. He's diabolical, this man. And as I'm in this thing, I bump into another journeying soul, a person also seeking this infamous Dr. Nutter I found out later. But in the short term, I didn't know who he was, but he started to explain to me who he was. And his name was Torquemada. And Dieter explained to me the intricacies and the worries and everything that goes with the keyhole vortex. And this is Dieter Torquemada.
My friends, you will take a slight courtesy of the macabre and strange as I regale you some stories of vignette on Dr. Edwin Sonata. Thank you, Mr. Turnbuckle, who has recently reconnoitered the keyhole vortex and came back here with a misinterpolation of his gene code, resulting in his notochord being infeasant. So he just started thinking on his own 2 weeks from now. I haven't started thinking on his own yet. I hail from Vaduz Liechtenstein. I came here through the keyhole vortex as a time-space continuum. I search also Dr. Edwin Sonata. His placard is right here. The only known cartoonist of Dr. Nutter, and I may pass this around, is this picture evidencing him and his erstwhile nursing assistant Henrietta Nutter, showing her distended abdomen, evidence of a XX chromosomal oddity manifested the evil spawn. I give you Raspile Nutter, the evil spawn of Dr. Nutter and Henrietta. You may pass that around. You will notice on this photograph that the photographer, Mr. James Brady, who took the picture, was had a resulting embroglio at the photo session and was killed by Dr. Nutter. The dried blood on the ambrotype evidence of that malfeasance. Now, chortle if you must, but I submit that the evidence that we had brought here today for you to witness was couriered here this morning by our archivist, Dahui Effingham, who brought it from the deep recesses of the Wasatch Mountain in Utah, where a deep dark vault holds all these items in secrecy. But now you are the only ones to date in this universe that have seen any of these items, and I will go through a few of them to show you the saga of Dr. Nutter, who started out as a physician in Boston, Massachusetts. He was treating children. This is one of his patients. He had a little girl that came in with a very simple leg tremor. And unfortunately, she left with only one leg. Dr. Nutter amputated the leg for a simple tremor, a muscular tremor. He was immediately investigated from this malfeasance. And the constable of Boston looked into his background. They found out his credentials were bogus. He was not a real physician at all. and he ran from Boston and he went to the mining concern in Centralia, Pennsylvania, where he obtained a position as a physician fighting black lung disease, collapsed wound care, and collapsed tunnel care. Anyway, he started a little thing where he was assigned a house and an assistant, Henrietta. But he declined the physician's house, and he decided to make his own living domicile inside an abandoned mine shaft. And there he had another building of a foundry that was assisted in the construction by a miner named John Keene. You see here, I may pass this picture around. Mr. Keene helped Dr. Nutter build the foundry where Nutter would forge tools to use in his sick experiments. One such tool is the notorious eye extraction device. Ooh. You may witness this. Chortle if you must. This was used to remove the eyes for implantation into a Frankenstein-esque creation called the Banshee, which was 1/3 human, 1/3 animal, 1/3 prosthetic. These operations that went on in the foundry and in the makeshift hospital that he built started drawing the ire of some of the other workers. The operations that were performed on the miners were starting to get around town, and when Dr. Nutter was like, the fumes of the miner, the fumes are infecting my notochord as we speak. The foundry that was built was furnaced by the winds of the fumes that were vented out by Mr. Keene. Now, Mr. Keene knew he was doing something wrong. He was instructed in the back row, you. Bags of teeth were extracted from certain people. You may pass that around. The other tools that were made, one most insidious one, is called the spinal redactor, a tool used to remove the spinal column. This is a broken transit, but it's simple enough. You can hear the tintinnabulation of the processes working on that tool. He also manufactured the cranium attenuator. This could be compressed on the cranium of any person to wish to keep the expulsion of the features as they were being operated on. Can you do the first brief commercial of our sponsor real quick? It's breaking for a commercial here.
Criscom's bone marrow liniment. It's one of my many products. This one here, I like to use to soothe the aches of the body. Generally, it works. It works until I leave town for sure. Guaranteed. And you can have this. We'll be selling this later on this evening for about a mere pittance. So have your mere pittances in your hand. When you leave, you may have a bottle of this fine liniment. I got it. You would think after all these miles and trials that I would know this, right?
Can I see your watch? Wait, let me just see. Oh, that's okay. I thought it was a specific brand. Okay. Anyway, back to Dr. Nutter's malfeasance. There's another such device he made. This is the appendage redactor. That's one of another products that he made. But he also made a very insidious tool, if I could find it, and that was called the chest viscerator. He had complaints of angina pectoralis from the miners, chest pains, heart attacks. He attributed it to the strong upper musculature of the miners, had such massive striated muscular tissue across the chest that pressed down on the rib cage, and that pressed on the heart. So he thought if he eliminated the muscle mass, he would eliminate the pressure on the heart. It makes complete sense. You may show this. He invented with the metals he siphoned off from the mine the chest viscerator, which was a diamond-encrusted tipped spike device that would be placed on the chest like so, and tourniqueted until the musculature was removed from the chest, and he would take that muscle and put it in a box. Later, someone picked up the box when the constable arrived. It was a veritable chest of chests, you might say. Oh, snap. tell you about John Keene. You all saw the picture of Mr. Keene. He came down to meet Dr. Nutter, and he said, Dr. Nutter, I'm growing tired of killing people for you and burying their bodies in the side of the mine shaft wall. So he demanded more wages. But Dr. Nutter did not take kindly to this malfeasance. Oh, no. No, sir. The resulting imbroglio ended up all right, we'll get back to that in a minute. Let me just tell you, it's time for your medication, my friend. Come back here. Look for the bottom of the thing over there. But anyway, Dr. Nutter was a very sick man. We can show you, we can pass around some of the tinctures that Mr. Turnbuckle generated. There's some cyanide if you're thirsty. There's some chloroform if you just want to take the edge off. There's some strychnine for you in the back row. You seem like that's something you might like to imbibe. And of course, a little more cyanide. This is a family pack for you. The bill of lading for all these products was seized at the port of call when it was brought in through Cuba, and it was also discovered when they arrested a courier for Dr. Nutter that he carried a wallet full of money. But the money wasn't normal money. It was coated with deadly black mold spores. He used this so he would buy products and kill people. The money, if you breathed in the mold spores, it would be deadly. Oh boy. The mold spores are deadly, I say.
Mold spores are deadly.
Deadly mold spores. Here's another product you may pass around. This is one of my favorite. Tincture belladonna, always a favorite at the Insanitarium. Now, wait now, we're going to Thaddeus. Why don't you tell them about the mind? See, Dr. Nutter created the Banshee, which is 1/3 human, 1/3 animal, 1/3 prosthetic. We actually have the Banshee here that we will be able to see before we leave for our trip. But right now, we want to show you how Dr. Nutter wanted to inculcate the mind into the Banshee. He could put the body parts in the eyes from the eye removal and all the other products, but he couldn't get a mind to work, so he used telepathy to make that happen. So we just need someone to think. You want to have someone put you on there?
What we're going to need here is I will endeavor to hypnotize someone, to delve deep into their subconscious. Think of a card. Just think of a card, any card at all. Let's see, who looks like they can think of a card? You, think of a card. Think of a card, think hard, and don't, just any card in the deck. Just pick a card, think about it. Have you got it?
Yes.
Tell me what it is.
King of Hearts.
Great. The King of Hearts.
Stand up. You gotta stand up.
Yeah. Okay. The King of Hearts is now here. All you have to do, open the box and see the King of Hearts. Open the box. Oh, quickly, quickly.
Oh boy.
We're tall.
Yes.
Would you like a chortle or something? Quickly! Quick! That's a very nice spider. We'll put him away for now. He may be back later.
We're going to try to inculcate. We're going to. Wait. You know, when there's a little spider, there's always a mother around too, isn't there?
Oh, no.
Where might that be? Where are you going? No, leave it like that. No, put it like that.
And nothing would touch you.
Where is that? Oh, is this the mother over here?
Is that the mother?
Is this the mother?
Oh, maybe that's the mother.
Oh yeah, that's the only one. That's it. Okay, lights. We are now going to listen to this haunted music as we try to inculcate all the lights out. All the lights out.
Oh yeah, great. Now she gets touched.
Do you see the ghost? It's behind him now. I see it there. Look, look if you will. Don't move. It's got a cusp around your neck right now. Do not move or you may lose your head. Release him now, ghost. Take a picture and capture the orb, baby. Does anyone see it? I see it. It's right there. Yeah, it's over here. It went out the door. All right, turn on the lights. We obviously didn't find the ghost. All right, that one is under experiment. Now, my friends, let us take out this one of Dr. Nutter's most heralded devices. This, my friends, was to facilitate a cleaner way of doing business, so to speak. And what it is Nutter's finest invention, the limb reduction device. And what this is it was made from the finest carbon steels that he siphoned off from the mine shaft. And he built this device so that he might make clean cuts to remove pieces to build the Frankenstein-esque creation called the Banshee, which the Banshee was actually a post-apocalypto rendition of this creature of Dr. Nutter's here, which is 1/3 animal, 1/3 human, 1/3 toilet box. It's called Kuji, who said to thrive on dry liquids. He uses this self-sterilization process of the needle, which he may come upon you and scamper up behind you and stick that needle in the base of your spine. Oh no. So that's his one edifice that we must be aware of. I found the Yes, now I am continuing back full circle to Dr. Nutter's embroglio with Mr. Keene, where Mr. Keene shook him down for some cash to do all these dastardly deeds. Well, Mr. Nutter took offense to that, and they had a slight run-in, resulting in the impaling of Mr. Keene with a railroad spike. This is actually Mr. Keene's cranium. As you can see, he stood about 6 foot tall. He was a man of very... Oh, sorry.
And there was the touching.
Yeah, that was okay. Yes, the rules are subject to change. That was the last one.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, let's get back to this. Let's turn back. Will you please explain this?
I don't want to do this.
Well, you must show them since you are new to this.
Do I have to?
So Turnbuckle here is gracious enough to demonstrate how Nutter would do his cutting.
Cutter, nutter.
Cutter,
Nutter the cutter.
Nutter the cutter. So we're gonna put his arm through here. Put your arm through here. Do it.
I don't want to do
I
it.
say, do it, you imbecile. Put your hand through that. It's not gonna hurt one bit.
Oh!
I mean, what off with jelly? The hand! The hand! Put it back! Put it back! Give us the hand! Lock it easy. He needs to put it back! Put it back! brother. Oh,
Thank
that was a
goodness.
close
I'm
one.
a surgeon. In my hand. Goodness. Hey. Retired maybe, but not hospital.
We moved
How
this
would I?
retarded back there. His head is doing well better now. I'll reattach synapses. Okay, I am going to show you now, before we start with our tour, consisting of the back of this building. The exit.
We're not kidding.
This is by far one of Nutter's crowning achievements. In this box, in this cartouche, lies a item called the Parasite Tablet.
Oh.
The Parasite Tablet was a tablet, a pill, that Nutter used to feign remedying someone of their illness by taking a pill. But this pill was different, my friends. This pill would reanimate once the saliva met it. And you may pass this around and see the insidiousness of this pill. The Parasite Tablet would crawl into the back of the mouth and eat its way through the wall, up through the sinus, and into the hypothalamus, where it would lay eggs. It would lay eggs. Yes, you wonder what they're looking at, don't you? It's insidious at best, I bet. Close it before you pass it back for safe transit. All right, now I'll open it for you. I got the camera. Okay. I give you the Parasite Tableau. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, this one just came alive recently. It could jump out and jump into your mouth, so if you must chortle, do so at your own risk. Now, we got any more? Now, after we finish viewing the Parasite Tablet, in an orderly fashion, we are going to get up. We're going to get up one at a time. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.